Right. So how then does a family look at becoming basically the treatment for the child? And the family then, it's a little bit more than your typical family. It's a family then is more therapeutic, and what you just mentioned at a group home or a treatment center. But how does the family then become that key element for a child?
The family becomes what I call the redevelopment agent. They start the process over for the damaged child. They need learned advice, and they need to get a baseline assessment to find out all the cognitive, psychological, and developmental issues that the child truly has. The family becomes the teacher, the educator, the mentor, and, lastly, I have to say the parent, because parent has all different types of meaning. A lot of parents want to get in there and just love the child and expect the child to get better on their own. Parents who have a tough kid have to wear many hats during the process. So they have to start over with where the baseline is, what are the struggles, what has the child missed, which is so critical. One of the things I emphasize to parents and families all the time, you have to go back to the stuck points, where the child was stuck in development, where they missed development, where they were traumatized during development, where they were unstable and mistrustful during development, because that's where you have to start. So families cannot just go forward from the adoption point, they have to go back to the stuck point, and they have to teach the child all different methods through their own experiences and through learned advice on how to gradually move from that stuck point in a more holistic, reality-based, reality. The child has to learn to function in reality within the family, even if it's a painful reality, meaning getting used to their trauma, learning how to deal with all the terrible things that have happened, but more importantly, learning how to fit in, and most of these children don't. So families absolutely and unequivocally must adopt the role of teacher, educator, and mentor.
And that's pretty comprehensive. So I know that a parent watching this is going to say, but what does that look like? What does that look like on a day in and day out basis? It sounds great. I know it's the goal. It absolutely is the family that is the core piece for healing our children. And so let's break this down to, if we were to take a little snapshot into a family that is doing this, what would we see? You talk a lot about the 4 L's, the language, the logic, the learning, and the listening. Talk more about that, because I know that is a huge piece in working with our children so that they can get back to that reality, get back to a place that their brains are operating in a sequential manner again.
I think the first starting point that I emphasize to all families, that they often find it to be very troubling, but then once they get into it, they find it to be very healing, is that the importance of a family intervention program, families taking charge of a child who's out of touch with reality. They have to pull them out of their non-reality situation and bring them home into their reality, meaning that to not allow them to be too far away, not allow them in school, not allow them to be out there playing with their friends or going to a relative's house or going on all these recreational activities that are separate from the family, because the child then develops their own alter lifestyle and they stay in their own zone. Parents must pull the child close and make sure that the child stays within the family to be not only analyzed, but to be worked with intensively, so the child knows that you belong to our system, and our system is founded in reality, that we're going to teach you respect, responsibility, right from wrong, but more importantly, we're going to teach you how to get through these terrible, difficult times. So many of these children disassociate and do not want to be in the family system or in that family reality because they don't know how to do it, which builds up to the question you asked.